if the EFF were ever to expel me, there are no options for me.
That's it.
I'll have to go and start EFF version
EFF
2.
light.
Can I just ask a question with regards
Yeah,
to jumping and what different parts? It's not really jumping, but when you were talking about the farming and who was actually doing the farming, something came to mind. It's a sense of lack of self-worth that colored people have and some black people have, and I think the apartheid did a very good job of doing that.
The colored people of the Western Cape, let's be honest, it's the apartheid success story. But really it is. So and we need to work very hard to motivate colored people that you don't need white monopoly capital when you can have an economy where you can have a greater stake in, other than just that of a consumer.
So my question is, I see another party that also tries to instill self-worth, and that's the CCC with Fadil Adams. So, what do you think of Fadil? I don't know what he's doing personally.
I don't have issues with him, but except for the fact that, this South Africa is wealthy enough, big enough for people to coexist and respect the dignity of each and every one. So, yes, sure, we are not saying that we want to drive white people into the sea. There's no way where it says that. There's no way where the EFF says we want to drive white people into the sea. We have white members, it's economic freedom fighters. It's not white, colored, African economic freedom fighters. It must never be. We are a Marxist, Leninist, Fanonian party, right? So our ideology is that favors the poor and working class. We don't say poor and working class African, colored, Indian. It's poor and working class, including white. So we even have branches in white suburbs. We have branches with almost completely white members, because the message of the EFF resonates with the poor.
And I think the media also does a very good job with not showing that side.
No, they wouldn't.
So with that, I was just want to tell you, it's important for you guys to actually do platforms like this, long form, where you can explain yourself better, because what the media does is just take the clips.
Yeah.
Like the previous person said, he has his own vision of a version of you.
Yeah.
So much respect for doing stuff like this.
Yes. No, and that's why I think it's very important and to give people an opportunity also to engage and to ask the questions that you ask.
The other day, I thought it was a masterstroke. But also it shows a little bit of I would say, the two sides of the EFF in a way, and the separation of a traditional base to sort of leadership. When Julius Malema came out against Uganda's homophobia bill, do you think that the base, the EFF is sort of maybe characterized or mischaracterized as a very masculine, patriarchal, sort of traditional conservative party, because that's generally the makeup of your base? What do you think the members felt about Malema's showing solidarity with the LGBTQIA plus community?
Well, it's even in the founding manifesto, we speak about the protection of vulnerable groups like the LGBTIQ groups. So obviously we've taken on that position that nowhere must people be judged on their sexual orientation, just like they should not be judged on the color of their skin. It's also wrong to judge people on their sexual orientation or gender orientation.
So you won't be changing that part of the Constitution?
No, certainly not. In fact, we should strengthen the implementation of the protection of the LGBTIQ community, because we still have something as archaic as corrective rape in our communities. So we should strengthen that. But once again, Roscoe, it comes down to there's no sense of respecting the dignity of other people. I mean, you can see the vitriol that I have to deal with. Those are people, those are real people that think it's okay to say things like that. That's a real person, a public representative of the DA, who thought that he could abuse a video containing a minor child, innocent people, for his own gains. Now that is, in fact, Ronaldo Gous epitomizes the failure of our democracy, that white people still think it's okay to disrespect people.